Well, hello. So today I thought I would discuss about stress management. And it also that constitutes anxiety. Anxiety. And I know that I have shown this before, but we'll do it again. So anxiety can be like you're shaking, anxiety. It's not necessarily fear, and it's not necessarily this kind of shaking like in fear, but it's mostly when I see deaf people sign it because they have it, they sign it anxiety, anxiety, because it'll start here and then it just goes up. It's just like, oh, I have anxiety, because it becomes worse. So, but this is talking about stress and your stress levels. So the stress level that you want is green, and it's just a G, and you just shake it. Most of the colors are that way. So that's green. And green means that you're ready to meet challenges. Now, I didn't say meet or satisfy. I did face, face to face. Ready to face challenges or to meet challenges. Also, it says that you can get along, to get along. This is with, right? With, to get along. How do they get along? To get along with other people, other other people. And I do it backwards. The people walking backwards, some people do walking forwards. I learned it backwards, so I don't know. It'll be your choice. And also the people that you are around, who is deaf and how are they signing it. Okay, and then the next one is that you are, it's like what to do. It is the level people desire to be. Okay, it is the green level. People want to be there in that green level, but we know that our stress and anxiety fluctuates. And I'm going to do like up and down, up and down, up and down, like a roller coaster, right? So the next one is the yellow level. And I'm going to go higher and higher. And you could probably do it the opposite, but green is the bottom, what you want, and you're going to end up going to red, which is the top one you don't want. But you could go down. You could even say green and go down that way, or you could go up. And I have a tendency to do, when they start off talking, I start that level or that statement or whatever it is they're saying I start at the bottom and then go up, but other people will start at the top and go down. So it is your choice as well. So we had the green level. So, and see, I go next. It's on the list, right? So you could do green level. Next is yellow. Why? Yellow level. And that you feel tense. So you could say, so I would say, like, here's your stress. I would do a tense. So it's not a lot of stress, right? But it's tense. It's tense, and have your facial expressions tense. And you are concerned or worried, and you're open 8 hand shape, and over here by your heart, you're concerned, you're worried. You can also do worried with a W like this. This also means troubled, worried. You could do worried, concerned, insecure. So you could say, "Oh, I don't feel safe, not secure, which is safe. That's a sign for safe." And you have problems connecting with other people. Problems connecting with other people. I can't, you know, empathize or whatever. This empathy. And I think we did that the other day. Mercy, self pity. I think we did that the other day. And but they're saying that it's normal to feel in the yellow level whenever you have those concerns or worries. That's normal. It's not like something like, oh no, I'm feeling stressed and maybe that's not good. It's just normal. Okay, so we have green. I'm going to do at the top so I can look consistent. Green, yellow, and then the next one is orange. Orange. You're squeezing out that fruit. So the color and the fruit is both the same sign, orange. And so In the orange level, then you feel exhausted. Now, this is tired. And so when you're exhausted, it's tired and you're spent. So exhausted. Um, and and you're exhausted emotionally and physically. So it's not just like, oh, just so worn out. You could just be emotionally, because physically you're going, oh, I can walk around, I can do things, but I'm just worn out emotionally. And you also feel overwhelmed. So this is when it goes over your head. That's overwhelmed. It goes over your head or overwhelmed, either one. And you may feel like the physical part is you may feel like you have an upset stomach. I do it up here just because you can't see me, kind of goes beyond that upset stomach. Uh, Easily angered. When people say something, you kind of snap back. So easily angered, you're feeling pretty stressed. And you're deeply discouraged. Again, the open 8 hand shape, and it goes down. This is also depressed, discouraged. Um, so this is like disappointed, but it's more like discouraged. And let's see, and it's not normally permanent. It may be for a short time because of maybe some stresses in your life, like at work or school or at home. And so you would have green, yellow, and orange more. It's more, the stress is more, you're feeling it more. So it's more. And then the last one, where nobody wants to be, is the red. And that comes from when they did lipstick. I know you're thinking, well, it should be this. No, it's red for lipstick. Also M for maroon, P for pink, and it comes from the lipstick, but red. Some people do an R, and that's okay. I've never done the R because that's the original sign. Okay, so in the red level, you are feeling constantly overwhelmed about anything. Like, what are we going to have for breakfast? I don't know. Yeah, just go and look, right? So that's easily, angered, and you're frustrated all the time, even about little things. So, and then you feel isolated. And so when you say isolated, so an I underneath here, you're isolated. You can also feel separated from other people. You can feel lonely. You may not be alone, but you feel lonely. So that's those are the three different ways you could really show the concept. And you have problems eating normally or sleeping normally. And when they say normally, that means either you're sleeping too much or you're not sleeping enough. So you're not sleeping or you're just sleeping all the time. And then also on the eating is like you're just really not eating, maybe, or you're eating too much. So it just depends, and some people will show it in different ways because it's like they want to feel something, or the sleeping too much they don't want to feel. So anyway, and they feel like they can't just continue on in life. They don't want to continue or move forward. Um, they feel like maybe they have just been abandoned from God in general. They may be angry at God. Um, and then they're saying if a person stays at this level, the red level, for they say for a period of time, and what that is, I don't know. But if it just continues, maybe let's say several months, then they would probably need to get some professional, a P, professional help, like psychiatric help or therapy, talk therapy, or a counselor. You can say that. So that's people say a psychiatrist, not really the sign, or psychiatric, or yeah, they could do this because this is professional. a counselor, therapy, talk therapy. So there's different kinds to do that. A lot of times this is used for a paramedic because this is doctor, right? So doctor, nurse, PA or whatever. So this is on the wrist as a medical doctor. So they could say a psychiatrist, psychology, counselor. So let's say, and then they also suggest that if you are in the red level, that you may want to take a break. Maybe if you're able to just drive to the beach or to the mountains or whatever you like, just kind of take a break, a vacation kind of. That's something that helps you emotionally connect again. And sometimes people like to go walking, to hiking, or, just, walk in the woods or go to the beach, or some people just like to go to the mountains because it has, they're saying fresh air or just be cooler or whatever, that helps that person to do that. So those are the stress levels. And like I said, normally for whatever reason, I start at the bottom because I start talking about that first. But when you say next or next, because it's on a list, next, then you probably should start at the top, right? You know, green, yellow, and orange, and then red. But if I was interpreting, I would probably already have gone and at the green level, and go up because it becomes worse, right? Because I'm thinking anxiety. So red level is worse. So, but practice with that and ask the deaf people that you're around or other people that sign and ask them which way they go, up this way or down this way. But it's just kind of funny how I notice myself that I will start, and I've noticed this before, that I'll start like at the bottom and I go, and then next, but it doesn't have to be next, 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 right? It's just next. And it's just like when you've written a list, next, next, next. But we started with green, right? So it's at the top of the list. You could say green, yellow, orange, red. And so you go down like that. So it just kind of varies on your own style, um, and how you order things yourself. So anyway, practice and enjoy and look at this, and I will see you later. Bye.